So we gave the body a good wipe down because it was pretty filthy, full of fingerprints and stuff. But I think now we will try to install the pickups and the rings. See how that goes. So these took a little bit of maneuvering, but I finally got them in. The spring probably was very difficult, probably the most difficult part of putting this whole thing together, because the spring would pop out every time I try to adjust, put the adjusting screw into the ring and into the pickup. But I finally got them in. Obviously the height is not set properly, but I'm not going to worry about that now. I'm just going to worry more about installing them, and then hopefully start figuring out a way to wire this thing together. So here they go. They're installed. And yes, before anyone asks, I did figure out which one is which. Neck pickup. This is the neck pickup. And this is the bridge. And there's a B there. I don't know if that stands for bridge or not, but I checked the polarity and the output of these pickups, and this one was hitting me about 16. And this is about 8. So that's how I figured it out. I'm gonna screw them in, and then I'll start figuring out the wiring, and hopefully install the pots too. Some wishful thinking there, hopefully. So the pickups are mounted, and they look wonderful. Look at that. Oh, I can't wait to put that Floyd. It's really going to be a nice looking guitar. Raise the pickups just a little bit. I'm not sure how high I should have them yet because I've not been able to put the bridge of the neck on there. But so far so good. These rings were a lot easier just to screw in than I was to install the pickup in them. I basically made sure that the screw was nice and straight and screwed very slowly until I got the whole thing in. Did not have any gold screws for the pickups, but eventually I guess I could pick some up at some point. But I'm not going to worry about it today. I'm just going to go with what I have now. All right, let's see if I can start wiring those pots. So yesterday I was able to take this selector switch or blade switch and clean up most of the solder that was left in there. I did the very best I could, but I at least got the holes where the wires are supposed to go in pretty cleaned up. There was a lot of solder in there, and there's still some, but I don't have a solder sucker, so I think I did the best that I could, and I think it'll work for now, as long as I don't have any bridging on any of these contacts. This I cleaned as best as I could. I scraped most of it off, most of the solder, and for our purposes, just to ground the wires, it should work fine. I also pulled off some of the wires off the push-pull pod. I disassembled some of the wires on it, and I kept some of the wires that were already installed. I might resolder some of this because I don't think I did a great job of soldering it in the first place. We'll see. But you see that the capacitor is already in there, so this actually doesn't look too bad. I didn't really have to do any cleaning on it, except maybe work a little bit more on these contacts that might not be soldered all the way. Okay, let's see what we got here. So unfortunately, we ran into the first hiccup of the build, and that was this pot right here. So I had it all wired up, ready to install into the guitar, but apparently the shaft is not long enough, and this little piece of metal is actually getting in the way of it going all the way through. I figured that I might as well just order a new pot because this one's all melted basically. So I'm probably gonna have to do that, and it's probably gonna take a couple of days for me to do a follow-up video. I did post something up today. Maybe some people will watch it, I don't know. But I'm going to have to order another pot because this one won't do. The shaft is too short. Anyways, but so far so good. I mean, I think we made some pretty good progress today. I got the pickups put on. I got the switch almost mounted. I'm probably gonna mount it pretty soon. But so I have a bit of an update. So I ended up getting a different wiring harness for this guitar. This is a wiring harness that I originally intended to put on this, but because I got sidetracked not finishing up this guitar, I was actually going to put it on the Telecaster from my other video. But because this guitar is actually, I would say it's better suited for this type of guitar because these pots are a little bit bigger and the shaft is a little bit longer. So we're able to get the guitar to be a better setup for these pots. So I decided that I'm gonna just go ahead and take those out of the Telecaster and put them on this one. And it worked out perfect. So we basically are halfway there. I just basically need to wire up the pickups. And then this morning I actually wired the input jack. So as soon as I wire together the pickups, I should be able to test this to see how well it works. Hopefully I'll record myself trying out the pickups and the pickup selector. Okay, so looks like we got the whole thing wired up. So these this harness came with these directions, which are completely different from the other directions that I got online. But I have wired this before and it works. The only thing that was a mistake was the switch, the blade switch. So I wired it incorrectly. So if you look at this, it sort of makes you think that you're supposed to wire the bridge over to this contact right here. So I did that and it was not correct because I was looking at it from the incorrect perspective. You're actually supposed to wire it upside down, and if you look at it upside down, you'll see that it's actually the bridge that goes wired here. You're supposed to wire the neck here and the bridge there. So yeah, well now it works. So what we're gonna do is assemble the back plate, and I will put also the knobs, and we will test these pickups up to see if they're wired correctly. Okay, so there it is in all its glory. It's coming out to be a beautiful guitar. Can't believe this body has been completely stripped for almost 10 years, and now we got the knobs installed. We got the selector, 3-way. We got the rings, we got the pickups, we got the back plate installed. Not the best fit, but not gonna worry about it because no one sees the back anyways. Just wanted to say a disclaimer. I am not a guitar expert. I'm not even a great guitar player, but I love building guitars. I love building things in general. So if I don't do everything perfect, I know it's not perfect, and I know that honestly, if I want to strive for perfection, you just have to keep on practicing. And this is barely maybe my third or fourth build, and I know a few things, but I don't know it all. So we're just gonna keep at it, and I'm gonna just enjoy building this. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you what it test up the pickups and see how well that turned out. All right, we're finally here, the big moment. This turned out to be more than I thought I would need to prepare for this part of the video. The pickups worked fine, the wiring was fine. Problem was the shielding. This thing was buzzing like crazy when I first turned it on. So I started shielding the control cavity, and I also shielded the output jack, so that way no more buzzing would happen. So I'm gonna just turn on the code 25, and it's both of them. Okay, And then the push pull pot works as well. So that's the bridge pickup. Nothing on the other pickup. Nothing on this pickup. So far so good. I might take another look at this because it's not it's not 100%. I don't know why. Kind of inconsistent. So I don't know what might be the problem, but I mean, looks like everything's working okay now. Anyways, well, tomorrow I will probably work on fixing up the neck, possibly polishing the frets, changing the tuners, putting a new nut, the gold nut for the Floyd. And then also we might start installing the Floyd since we're pretty far along in the build. Maybe we'll get to strum it tomorrow. We'll see. But till then,